What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. Now, I said I wasn't going to make a video on the Samsung releases, but I am. I am going to make an alternative video to the Samsung Z Fold 6, Z Flip 6, and Samsung Arsehole Ring video. Yes, I'll give you the truth behind the sham that is Samsung these days. So if you're a Samsung knight, fuck off, because you ain't going to want to hear this. For the rest of you, let's go. Now, just a few days ago, Samsung released 3 mind-blowing products, and not in a good way. The first one is that arsehole ring I was talking about. Who in their right mind is going to wear a Samsung ring? I won't even wear my wedding ring, let alone something from Samsung. For context, generally fitness trackers are multifunctional. They will tell you the time, for example. They will push your notifications, like, the Samsung Galaxy Watch. And we'll get to that too. But the ring just sits on your finger. You need your phone at all times. It's not like you're going to take calls or read your texts from the ring. It's a dud. It is not for the Western market. I know this will sell at first, but think about this. Have you ever purchased a ring online? No. Do you know the reason you haven't done that? You need to try it. Now think about this. What are the chances that you get your ring size correct for the Samsung ring? Probably pretty slim. So you're going to receive your device, you're going to pop it on your finger and realise it doesn't fit. Then you're going to have to return that device. Then you're going to have to order another one and hope that the next one fits. It just doesn't work, folks. It's a mess and I hate it. But I don't hate that as much as I hate the Z Fold 6, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But before we get to the Z Fold 6, I want to talk about the one phone that potentially doesn't bring some volcanic levels of hate up from my belly. It's the Flip. The Flip 6, while I don't like flip phones in general, it ain't a bad phone. It's well designed, the cameras are okay, it's had a recent upgrade to 50 megapixel, the outer screen is basically a full cover screen, and obviously it's One UI software, so it's going to work really, really well. The only thing I will say is the price. £1,050 here in the UK puts it about £300 or £350 more expensive than its rival Honor Magic V Flip, and having used the Honor V Flip for a while now, review coming soon, there's absolutely no way anyone will convince me that the Samsung is A, better, and B, certainly not worth an extra £350 or £400. So price wise, it's Samsung. They're going to keep doing it. They've overpriced and overcharged. Keep in mind that Nubia have their Nubia Flip for £500, less than half the price of the Samsung Z Flip 6. So if you're in the market for a flip phone, please do some looking around first and some research. Now, before I get to the Z Fold 6, where you're going to want to put the children out the room, they shouldn't be watching this video. Hopefully you can tell from the thumbnail I wanted to make for this video. This is not my usual pleasant review or video where I give you some positive news about upcoming phones. This is absolutely slamming the sham that is fucking Samsung. Anyway, the watch. In my opinion, there's 2 styles of watches. There's a circular display watch, which Samsung have done well for years. Then there's the recently released Apple Watch Ultra, which is square, which in my opinion also looks fantastic. Functionality, features, everything's great. So what Samsung have decided to do in their infinite wisdom is combine the two. So it's a circular face with a square design, ultimately leading to way too much wasted space and what looks like an ogre of a device. It's a Frankenstein's monster and it's hideous. None of it makes sense. The internal features are just the same as the Samsung Watch 7. But the design is horrific. Yet they're charging £600 for the pleasure. I'm sorry. This is another miss. Just like the arsehole ring, the Samsung Watch Ultra, it's just a miss. But people will buy it. And we'll get to why people will buy it soon. Now, the finale, the Z Fold 6. And I should give you context if you're new to my channel. I have reviewed, owned, kept 50 foldable devices at this point. Maybe not 50, maybe it's 20. Basically, every single large format foldable device I have owned and reviewed on this channel. So I am one of the best placed people to give my honest opinions. For example, this is the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro, and this is the best foldable ever made. Simple. The only competition is the Vivo X Fold 3 Standard, which, again, depending on budget, both are absolutely phenomenal. Specs wise, 8-inch inner screen, 6.5-inch outer screen, 120Hz panels on both screens, a 5,700 mAh battery with 50 watts wireless charging, a triple camera setup with the largest cameras and telephoto lenses in any foldable device. All of this for the global version you can get for £1,760 including delivery on the Average Dad Tech store, or the Chinese variant is £1,260 shipped to you for half a terabyte of storage. That's £500 cheaper than the global, and the only difference with that is you won't get Android Auto yet, and some smartwatches will not connect, but your Galaxy Watch will with no issues. Now let's talk about the Z Fold 6. The Z Fold 6 has wireless charging, 15 watts. It has a battery inside, 4,400 mAh. And if that sounds familiar, that's because it's the exact same as the Z Fold 5. And then there's the cameras, a triple camera setup. The exact same, and I mean this literally, the hardware, the sensors, the lenses, everything is the exact same setup as on the 1-year-old Z Fold 5. And in terms of foldable camera setups, the Samsung Z Fold 6 doesn't even make it to the top 10 at this stage. Between the OnePlus Open, the two Vivos, the Huawei Mate X3 and X5, the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 and upcoming Mix Fold 4, and many others, the Z Fold 6 barely scrapes probably number 11 in terms of cameras. And then there's, well, before we get to the price, let's talk dimensions. The thinnest Z Fold in history is the new Z Fold 6, and it's 12.1 millimeters folded. This is 11.2 millimeters. The Honor Magic V2 is 9.9 millimeters, and the just released or soon to be released, but on the Average Dad Tech store, Honor Magic V3 is 9.2 millimeters. So in case you're bad at math, the V3 is 30% thinner than the Z Fold 6. And again, the Z Fold 6 barely makes the top 10 in terms of thinness when it comes to foldable devices. Yet, you can be sure that, as always, the Z Fold 6 is number 1 for most expensive foldable phone on the planet. Yes, for half a terabyte of storage at Samsung UK, you can pay a mere £1,899. Let's just round up to £1,900. That's £150 more than this global version of the best foldable phone on the planet. That's, this actually hurts to say, £700 more than the X Fold 3 Pro Chinese version, £650 more than the new Honor Magic V3. If you have ordered the Z Fold 6 for anything other than drop tests, reviews, or you're just planning to return it within 14 days, you're off your fucking head. It's a disgrace. I have a tech channel. I have the means to buy the Z Fold 6, but I ain't doing it. This is the only video, unless I get a cracking deal, which, by the way, if you wait about 3 weeks, you'll probably find the Z Fold 6 going on eBay for £1,000. Once it gets to that price, I'll buy it and I'll do a review of it, which you'll watch, but I won't enjoy. I don't know what else to say. The specs are last year. The dimensions are from 3 years ago. The price is beyond a joke. And Samsung don't care. Because people like you, Samsung Knights, if you're still watching this video, which is doubtful, you keep buying. You keep getting hooked by what? It's global, Android Auto, smartwatch connectivity. So is this. It's global. Stop. Please stop feeding Samsung your money. They don't deserve it. And typically with a Samsung release, you can be sure of fantastic trade-ins, free gifts, double the storage. None of that this year. There's not one free gift. There's not double storage. And the most you will get for a trade-in in the UK, the most you will get, even an S23 Ultra or an S24 Ultra, is £640. So you're going to give away your S24 Ultra and still pay £1,300, which, remember, you can get the Chinese version of this for that price. Just mind-blowing. So, again, hopefully you've enjoyed this brutally honest content. I want to take the next minute to call out a few other tech reviewers. Aaron, Mr. Who's the Boss, Marquez, MKBHD, Tom the Tech Chap, Chris from Techspert. Do better. Be honest. I know this is your living, but there comes a point where you have to make videos like exactly what I'm doing. You have to make thumbnails like that. Stop taking from Samsung, because then you have to make videos like you've all just made in the past few days. Bigging up all the products, saying how great they are, when never once comparing them to phones like the Honor or the Vivo or the Xiaomi or the OnePlus. It's embarrassing at this point. And I expect it every year. And I know I'm going to get comments saying, they're much better reviewers than you. That's not up for debate. What I'm saying is, they're not being honest. And that really annoys me. Anyway, that's my rant. You can leave a comment below if you agree with me or not. At all points through this video, I have only stated facts. Fact. The ring will not fit first time more often than not. And you will not use it as often as you think. And it basically makes no sense. The Z Flip 6 is a good phone, but fact, it's overpriced. The Galaxy Watch Ultra, a fact, it's disgusting to look at, and it makes no sense. The Samsung Watch 7 or Galaxy Watch 6 are fantastic smartwatches. I'm not going to sit here and slag them off because they are fantastic smartwatches between £300 and £400 prices. Anyway, I'm not going over it again. This square slash, it's like square peg, round hole. I don't know what Samsung are doing with the design of the watch. And then there's the Z Fold 6. I could ream off 100 facts about why you should not buy this. But the main ones are, it's the thickest, it's the most expensive, and it's the worst camera setup of all of the top 10 foldables on the planet. Those are just the facts, folks. Hopefully you've enjoyed my honesty. And I'll be back soon with a more positive video on the Honor Magic V Flip and some other tidbits. And before you go, if you're in the market for a proper foldable device, check out the Average Dad Tech stores. I will not be beaten on price. And until next time,